Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to pull cards for the masculines, the feminines, the union space, and some instruction, spirit guidance for everybody navigating the journey right now. But let's see how this is affecting the Divine Masculine Collective and the Divine Feminine Collective on the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual levels. What's going on for everybody? So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the amazing souls that are joining me here on this twin flame journey. What can we see in these now moments for the collective? Brave, brave souls, audacious, beautiful souls. Okay. Let's start with the Divine Masculines emotionally. What can we see for the Divine Masculines emotionally at this time? Oop, on the floor. We're getting a lot of messenger energy. Messenger of water, messenger of air. This is the internet spying card. This is the self-love card, but it's also like the overly emotional. So Divine Masculines are beginning to have their emotions stimulated. You could say triggered, but I'm getting this new kind of something that they've seen recently has possibly on social media, possibly caused a little bit of a fuel to the fire. There's a lot of blue here, communication, and we also have the Four of Air. So there's this exchange of information. Emotionally, things are shuffling. Two messengers, that's the page level. So it's a beginning energy. It's not very masterful. It's curious. The Four of Air is in the reverse. So it's about not knowing how to completely integrate or process what's being seen. Or maybe just, coming to the awareness of considering going deeper on certain things. Something has caught their attention, a theme. I'm getting that there's a comparing energy between two individuals as well, which is causing the Divine Masculine to really look at connection, choice, and attraction. Something's setting uneasy emotionally for the Divine Masculine, feeling like they can't hold back, acknowledging how central you are, Divine Feminine, to anything else they focus on, how your energy is always there. There's an invitation for the Divine Masculines to really integrate the truth of that awareness emotionally right now. And for some, they are starting to. What is it we can see emotionally for the Divine Feminines on the emotional realm? What is this journey doing in the Divine Feminine Collective at this time? What can we see for the emotional realm for the Divine Feminines? Oh. Okay, so wow, we got some over here. Ace of Swords and Two of Swords in the reverse. So Divine Feminines, you are starting to see something also very clearly emotionally, that when you choose love over fear, you see the higher truth that sets you free. So you're learning to use your emotions as a navigation system. Lots of you have been doing personal sessions with me to do this and to decide how to utilize emotional response in a way that frees you, brings joy, allows for an opening rather than a constriction feeling. And we get Princess of Pentacles. So we have another page here. We get Five of Pentacles, which is the card of separation, and the King of Swords. So emotionally, Emotionally, you're seeing some very high-level truths. Also, there could be legal matters that some divine feminines are sorting, financial matters regarding separation. This can be with your divine masculine or with a karmic partner. So there is still the crossroads energy in your realm here, divine feminines. Let me just pull out, because there's going to be a lot of different storylines for many. So if you are leaving karmic situations or have had blockages whether or not to leave karmic situations, you're being asked to utilize kindness of self and other, and really look for these breakthrough thoughts that show the difference between love versus fear for you. The higher truth, head over heart here. Reading energy, looking at the fruits of connections. Okay, that's for those who are still in karmic situations that need to be ended, or that you've had the thought that they need to be ended. Most of the time you wouldn't be considering that, divine feminines, if it weren't an inevitable thing. Okay, for those who are already in the process of leaving karmic situations, that is coming up here with legal matters and staying the course. You will not see the next level of engagement, whatever that may be, increased communication, more commitment, living together, that sort of a thing with your DM, until you clear out your karmic energy. It's not allowed to come in no matter how open you are. The divine template will not allow a connection to come in that does not have finished business regarding other connections. It just doesn't work that way. If something is putting a wedge in there, it doesn't happen. It can't be fully embraced. And with these connections, they do not come in until they can unfold naturally. If they do, it's that calibration runner chaser thing, or blowing apart if there is an attempt to come together prematurely. For divine feminines watching this that do not have karmic situations that they are leaving or still in, this is about seeing the higher truth of the divine masculine's readiness or not, and knowing that you don't want to be with your divine masculine until they are of sure will and know with all of their alignment that you are right for them. And so this is about being grateful for any kind of connection that you do share while your divine masculine is, I heard, coming to terms with the connection, waking up to the magnitude of what their heart is telling them about this connection. And in some cases, you know, with this messenger of water, this is the Page of Cups. Sometimes that can be a very fantastical energy that is very in love but just doesn't know the practical steps to ground it. So divine masculines, you need to look at your connection in order to ground it. You need to see it, to face it, to give it some of your focus, and those things will be self-evident, but avoiding it won't produce growth. I hear the divine masculine collective saying that's why they're not looking at it, because they're not ready for it to grow and flourish the way they know it will. Okay, let's see what the connection is between the mirroring that seems to be happening with the distance away from union on the emotional level. We see the divine feminines wrapping up things with karma and understanding that. We see the divine masculines not focused on the connection yet, but being curious. And in the middle, we have the Queen of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. So this is the all-knowing, all-perceiving, been there, done that kind of energy. This is the teamwork in the physical with a common goal in mind. So free from codependency. It's striding together towards a goal, because everybody sees the inner workings of certain things. And so emotionally, there is the sense of the twins all gaining life experience right now that can truly bring collaboration in. So let's get a Starseed advice for the feminines. We have Temple of Eventual Destinies. So divine feminines, trust your process, whichever stage of the karmic unraveling you're at, the karma clearing, trust it, because you are on a spiritual course. This says Temple of Eventual Destinies, benevolence, spiritual progression, and enlightenment. You are learning so many things, divine feminine, so make note of those things. Really consciously discern what it is you are learning, because this is the foundation towards the teamwork and collaboration on the emotional level. Many of the things you're learning are the intuitive assessment of emotional navigation, divine feminines, and energy, how energy works. So just know that you are gaining enlightenment and how to intuitively discern what your emotions are teaching you about connection, about timing, about cycles, about the big picture, about your free will, about connection with others, karmic and divine. So stay with that and trust you are on the right track. A card of advice for the masculines. We are getting Chamber of Teleportation, Journey, Exchange, and Transference. So divine masculines who may be watching this, you share so many levels of energetic transference on this journey with your feminine. Right now we're seeing a little bit of something that's possibly been seen online, something about the ideal nature of this connection that you've had to see compared to another energy. And so you're learning so much. This is about slowing down and integrating it. And oh my gosh, my throat chakra just went crazy when I was about to say the exchange, the reciprocation between you and your counterpart. There is a teamwork energy here that you're being called to look at. But there's some more integration before you might be able to do that. The journey is not at a place. It's like one more bend ahead on the path, on the trail, and this transference can come in, but it has to do with you integrating the emotional connection at this time with why your divine feminine is so much in your energy field and the interesting things that's doing to you. It's time to really drop in and ask yourself why that is, divine masculines. Okay, let's take a look at the masculines. Ooh, whole deck on the floor. We're not going to use that one. Let's use this one again. So what are the divine masculines being aware of on the conscious mind? What is this journey doing to the divine masculine collective on the conscious mind? What can we see? What's happening for the divine masculines consciously at this time? Oh, 3 of Fire. It's the main card and always on the floor. Okay, so we get the Page of Earth, which is what the feminines had in the emotional realm. 3 of Fire is about future manifestations. This is about the things that you're wanting to manifest in the days to come, divine masculine. So the expression of this person riding on this flying craft here or boat, it's kind of ambiguous. I wouldn't say things are set in stone, divine masculine. Page of Earth, it's like practical application. The pages are the initiates, and so it's sort of like you've been trying certain modes of operating, divine masculine, to see what result you'll get from this new alignment. It's like testing your newfound more masterful, more self-honoring confidence, self-worthiness. The Four of Water, there are certain things from your past, I'm hearing when you were more naive, that you miss, that you regret, that you feel were squished out of you, that you're trying to recapture. You're trying to capture that again, and embody it, that sense of youth, the wild abandon, the exhilaration. I'm getting the sense that you're growing in confidence, Divine Masculines, and wanting to embody. It's kind of like that, if I knew then what I know now, I would have like done so many things differently. And I'm feeling it's more like a loss of youth, a loss of innocence, like not a midlife crisis, but a genuine desire to blend the freedom of naivety and the wisdom of maturity into a current expression. This is the public victory, which is in reverse. You know, the public acclaim, the common knowledge, the external appearance of your life and actions and who you are. It's in the reverse, which means you're losing, it's losing as a priority. You're deepening as an individual, and it's more about how you feel navigating your life than what others think about you. You're honoring your own truth. Oh wow, this is the second card that we have the same as the Divine Feminines in the emotional realm. So there is some magnetic parallel here between the two. Page of Wands, or yeah, and King of Swords. So this is about clarity of mind, seeing things energetically for what they are. This is discernment. The King of Swords is about accuracy and formulas, finding the magic ticket, I just heard, of what is what, and the blend, the razor's edge of the best of both worlds. Freedom and commitment, I just heard. Interesting. And the Wheel of Fortune. So cracking the code, I just heard. This is very analytical for the Divine Masculines, because it's like an alchemical process where Divine Masculines, it seems like you know that the hand of God will come in and bring you abundance if you can just calculate what you feel is your new desire. So there's a lot changing up on the conscious mind at this stage of the journey for the masculines, because you're outgrowing the old need for recognition and acclaim, the need for external approval. You're putting that rubbish aside. The pretense, you are doing it, Divine Masculines. You are becoming more kind, more fair. You're doing things that are justified. You're owning it, I'm hearing. Okay, let's take out some cards now for the feminines on the conscious mind. What can we see for the Divine Feminines on the conscious mind? What is the journey doing for the Divine Feminines at this time? Three of Cups, joy and celebration, friendship. The journey is making the Divine Feminines less judgmental and more analytical as well, I'm getting here. More able to feel safe in complex situations. There's a lot of awakening to third-party dynamics, the things that the Divine Feminines are subscribing to as far as earthly contracts and spiritual connection, loyalty. I just heard the feminines are allowing energy to speak for itself and to regulate what is for them at any given moment, not worried too much about wanting to convince or make something happen, more just wanting to explore and celebrate in the moment. I'm being drawn to the rainbow bridge with this transformation and promise of freedom. So the divine feminines have their sights set on freedom and celebration, where they no longer have to worry about competition, lack, loss, fear in relationships. So whatever the divine feminines are observing in their dynamic, in their karmic situations, there is this grand motion to becoming more joyful regarding complex dynamics, is what I'm hearing. Okay, what is the union space here? For the twins, what can we see in the union space? Beautiful. We got the Star of Hope and the Four of Cups again, which fell over here on the Four of Cups. This was the Glory Days card in the Divine Masculine conscious mind of trying to pull the best from the past. There's hope for the future here for both. Feminines are feeling very, very hopeful and also wanting to leave certain things from the past behind. Likewise, the masculines are becoming more grounded and authentic and wanting to have the freedom of the past without the heaviness of responsibility and duty and karma, I heard. So by that I mean without the imbalances that make an otherwise good thing a headache, a burden. Okay, let's get some advice. So for the feminines on the conscious mind, what can we see for the feminines coming into freedom and transformation regarding ease of movement through complex dynamics? Artistry, expression, community, and celebration. I just heard you are becoming the new matriarchs, feminines. You are the, dare I say, chieftains of new forms of community, organization, new collaborations, unity consciousness. You're bringing this sensitivity that you have been specializing in regarding true connection. I'm going to take a little bit of time to express a deeper layer of that. So divine feminines, you're really learning about sexual compatibility, which is one of the most intimate layers of energetics because it's so primary when we look at it from a biological sense to make children. That's an incredibly sacred process, and the ecstatic realms of bonding and experiencing true deep intimacy with a partner. As a sacred sexual being, divine feminines, you know that refining beauty and intensity that cannot be experienced if there are imbalances. So on one hand, you're understanding what you're worth and what turns you on sexually in deeper and deeper ways, which does eliminate any threat of karmic energy that would be more lustful or shallow or not as sacred as the safety that you are coming into knowing your worth. So things aren't phasing you that way as much. The sexual repression on the planet within societies has been so grotesque that it has kept us all in slavery templates and rendered us quite impotent with regard to harmonizing in groups, meeting together for social change in many ways is influenced by the sexual repression in our society, is what I'm being told to say. So as we work out these karmic understandings, divine feminines, it's not going in vain. This portion of the journey, the twin flame journey of mastery, is specializing in sacred sensual connection, sexual connection, partnership, relationship. And that is helping. I'm seeing a ball of yarn, like a weaver, but with a previous societal bag of yarn that got all tangled up. And divine feminines, you've gone in there and you've been rewinding all the balls of yarn so they don't have knots and tangles. And now you're going to be weaving this new tapestry where appropriate energetics can come in and make way for seamless expressions in freedom and joy. I don't know how each one of the divine feminines are going to be doing that, but I do feel that there is a logical way that the feminines are looking at connection that does not hold the same fear that it used to regarding connection as we become more and more intimately organized and our truer expressions of self in the world. Wow. That is no easy task, divine feminines. Okay, one message for advice on the conscious mind for the masculines. We're getting Temple of Suspended Endings, standstill, suspended animation, and holding space. And also Metatron star, exaltation, brilliance, triumph, and victory. So here's the true victory. So divine masculines, you might feel like you're at a little bit of a standstill, being reminded of the planes that go up into the upper atmosphere and you can go weightless for a small moment up there. It's the kind of feeling I'm getting here with the connection. So divine masculines, this was the old worldly recognition and acclaim that you were taught from birth you needed to achieve. This is the true victory of the spiritual triumph when you actually embody your own free will and own it. So this suspension, this pause in your connection right now consciously is making way for a totally new level of triumph and brilliance as you alchemize the best of youth and maturity into this stage of the journey where you curate what your new definition of victory is, divine masculine. Beautiful. Okay, so in the physical realm, let's see what it is that the masculines are being ushered through physically at this time in relation to the journey. What are the divine masculines experiencing on the physical level? Bunch. Hanged Man, King of Fire, and Magician. Hanged Man in the reverse. This is a radical new perspective. So with the practical application, divine masculines, you are kind of testing the water with certain things, seeing where certain freedom acts will get you. So modes of conduct that you've been trying out, you're now starting to see the effects of that. You're now making some sense of how that differs from how you used to be. That's what I'm getting there. But it doesn't feel completely empowered. You're still vowing to yourself to figure this puzzle out, to really come into the embodiment, to continue to grow. There is a deep commitment to get it right here and to actually empower yourself, divine masculine, into full expression of these new found freedoms. of free will, newfound acknowledgement of your free will embodiment. It's been coming through quite often in personal readings and in casual conversations with individuals that are concerned about our freedoms being taken away on the planet through this COVID period of time, where it looks like we're having rules and regulations infringing on our freedoms. Yes, governments are changing. We are becoming global. It is a massive reconfiguration of the framework of our societies right now. This is a huge pause as peacekeeping takes on a new role on the planet. And it's almost as though the powers that be are relaxing their grip out a step. And the reason that I feel there is proof of this is because there has never been a time on the planet where we have been more able to express ourselves in a way that truly exemplifies who we are, to the extent that we can self-identify as anything we want and be received with less and less judgment from others in our society. Let me say that again. We are living in a period of time of personal accountability and mastery to the extent that we can self-identify in a unique expression, really without limitation, like never before. That is our free will. I want to say to the max, even within the perceived limitations, in the 3D paradigms, those who are conscious of who they are authentically have never had more freedom to express. And I'm hearing a lot of you talking about things all over the world in your minds that are coming up. It's changing, believe it. Do not let the fear of what about that and what about that. We're working on it. Everybody is working on it. Keep working on it, because part of the freedom of expression that we are all growing into is also the freedom to passionately assist those things that need to be worked on in the world. Twin flames are doing many of those things to help. There are innovations coming. We're seeing a lot of the things that need to change, and the beautiful heart-centered individuals that are on the twin flame journey are parts of that becoming, for sure. I'm so blessed to work with you. I love you all so much. But divine masculines, you are starting, the big picture keeps getting bigger. You are starting to see that every little bit of your heart counts in the world, and that as you're accountable with that, it keeps growing as to where you can express. It is a marvelous becoming right now, everybody. So divine feminines, just like your divine masculines aren't rushing forward for many coming into union, they are also working on becoming who they need to be for mission, and that means simply to contribute into society their best, their most authentic self. They still need to come into that on their own without diverting that potency into a relationship with you before that happens. We wonder why it hasn't happened more quickly. It's an individual becoming, and everyone on the planet right now is going through it. So don't rush that. Don't take that away from anyone. We're all figuring out our true north as individuals. But divine masculines are truly understanding their own preference, the best of all of the things that they have experienced, and they're starting to see where that can be even more celebrated even more profoundly as a next level output of self. Wow, what is the divine feminine collective experiencing in the physical? This is a surreal time to be alive. What is the divine feminine collective experiencing in the physical? Okay, we do have the Four of Wands here, which is the Union card, Temperance and Queen of Swords as well. So there could be homes, not knowing, changing of homes right now. There could be timing issues for divine feminines. Divine feminines, if you don't have the timing dialed in for the changes you know are coming through right now, there's still healing. Appreciate where you're at. If changes aren't coming in, the divine is saying to you right now, take heart, don't worry, it's because you're not healed enough. When you heal sufficiently, the way will open before you, is what I'm hearing. So don't sweat it, divine feminines. You will be provided for. Isn't that a beautiful testament of faith? Take heart, divine feminines. The way will unfold in front of you when you are at that stage of the process. Right now, if it's not evident to you, keep healing. Keep tuning into the faith that brings your spiritual awareness into your present moment. Yeah, do not worry about timing and the process. Just keep being aware of the intuitive knowing that you're getting every step of the way. If there isn't something that you know for a fact you're meant to be doing or navigating at any given moment, rest. That's the distinct message right now. It's time to rest. If there isn't something pressing, collect yourself, breathe, love yourself, pause, recoup your energy, do what you need to do. Okay, connection space, union space in the physical for the divine. Oh yeah, we get the World. Things are really coming to a close regarding leaving the templates of the world. This is, I cannot imagine having a reading like this even last year. I can't imagine a reading like this coming through 5 years ago. In 2012, I remember thinking about this kind of an energy as a distant promise and saying, well, I'll see it or I'll believe it when I see it. Divine creator, like in my meditations, I was told, you know, the financial systems are going to transform, that spiritual intention and love in the world is going to be energetically backed in a way that it hadn't in old energy. We're seeing all of that show itself. It's being revealed now, everybody. It's surreal how much the planet has changed. And again, I'm going to bring it back to how much freedom you and you and you and you and you have to express yourself for who you want to be seen as in this day and age. I'm doing a little bit of, I'm not gonna cry, but it feels like that kind of a sweet release that we can just relax and be ourselves more and more. Okay, what is it that the divine feminines can see regarding the physical realm at this time and not being stressed about the changes that will happen when the healing has anchored? Heartwave, resonator, ecstasy, rapture, flux, and amplification. Wow, I just heard, as soon as it clicks, divine feminines, hold on to your hats. It's going to be an amazing, ecstatic unfolding. So if you've been fearing that your divine connection is not going to go anywhere fast, it's going to move so swiftly, elegantly when it does click, divine feminines, that you're going to be so darn thankful that you did the groundwork, that you've had all of this time to prepare. Literally, you're going to be so thankful you had all of this time to prepare. So if you're not making changes in your life that you know you need to, if you're not letting go of things that don't serve you, if you're not streamlining those things that your heart keeps saying, do it, live your best life, you might feel a squeeze, or it just might be benevolent and it won't come in as quickly for you. Prepare as though you are grateful for this new life coming in, Divine Feminines. Put everything in place that needs to happen for that to be realized, because once all of the building blocks are in place and it clicks, amplification, flux, ecstasy, rapture, it just takes off and reveals. That's what I'm seeing here for you. So keep manifesting all of the things that you would need to have it just unfold when it's time. What do the Divine Masculines need to see? We are getting Chamber of Exhilaration, enthusiasm, learning, generosity, and fortune. How beautiful. This is physical abundance coming in, taking off swiftly in this connection space, in this union. Once we leave the atmosphere of once we leave the atmosphere, now I said sphere, the fear of the sphere. Okay, is this a flat earth joke? I don't know. Forgive me. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh. I'm going to keep going. That just cracked me up. Okay. Once we leave the atmosphere of the sphere, things are really going to take off, everybody. Psychic vision, hidden meanings, and dream reading. So, Divine Masculines, you're really unlocking your inner divine, intuitive, feminine energy that's taking all of your insight to the next level. The barriers of fearing that you are not masculine enough, that you are not strong enough, that you are not stable enough, that you are not able to provide enough. All of those things are softening as your intuitive gifts are coming online. I'm being told that as you find more safety and presence intuitively in the moment, as you connect literally to the intuition that aligns you with the Holy Spirit, the spirit of what is right and good and true in the moment, that you don't have to be so concerned with getting it right by 3D standards, and there is a true limber energy that comes in that allows you to be more present as well, and to appreciate more exuberance, exultation, enthusiasm in the moment. I heard belly laughter for you, Divine Masculines. Amazing. Okay, let's do the spiritual union space with a Beyond Lemuria card to finalize the reading. So what is it, Divine Creator, that we can see for the union space on the spiritual plane for the twins at this stage of the journey? What did we get? Trust your innocence. Yeah, Divine Masculines, you're returning to the innocence without the naivety. Amazing. Divine Feminines, you're returning to the innocence that allows for energy to be energy, and for you to not have any doubts or fears about what is what anymore, so that you can be like a child where you're not concerned about, oh, those 3 energies that were cleared the other day: ulterior motive, duty, and forsaken. Those energies have to be abolished before we can come back into this innocence, and so the twins are purging those from existence. But let's read what this says. Trust your innocence. 54. Did somebody just turn 54 today that's watching me? Interesting. I just got to say happy birthday. Who's turning 54? So, truth, trusting yourself, being real with people, knowing the difference between intuition and paranoia. I've said it before that divine energy is truly aligned with love, and hypervigilance is the karmic counterfeit. Paranoia. So uncensored feelings, returning to innocence. So for everybody on this twin journey, it's about just expressing freely without fear. Saying the things that your heart nudges you to say without second guessing that and letting it channel through. We are truly moving into that degree of self-identification where we can just align so much with our heart that we channel from that center, from that source, through innocence, without guard, without filter. Oh, that's a good thing. Can you imagine that we're actually getting there, everyone? So learn to trust your inner sense or intuition. You are encouraged to be absolutely honest with yourself. Cast aside any mind stories and shoulds that you tell yourself. In your heart of hearts, you know the answers. Dare to listen to and honor them. This card may also relate to being truthful with another person. Relationships can only deepen when we can be real with each other. Consider your timing and be considerate, but this is a time for truths. That's in the spiritual union spot, so be truthful about the love that you have for your twin. It's real. Bye for now.